Hello, Internet. It is Adam Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Nosferatu. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay. Let's talk about the man who's making this thing, Robert Eggers. So, Robert Eggers, he's been around for a bit. So far, before Nosferatu, he's made 3 movies. Witch, Lighthouse, Northman. This is his first movie without a "the" in the title. Yet The Witch was one of A24's earlier hits. It's I think audience-wise, it was kind of people didn't know really what to think, but review-wise, it was critically acclaimed. Lighthouse also acclaimed. Northman also acclaimed. The Lighthouse kind of just did well. The market for that wasn't exactly wide. It was exactly a huge market for a movie like The Lighthouse. So it didn't really pop off at the box office. Northman was a flop at the box office. And it certainly wasn't because of quality. It was mainly because of budget and genre. Because Viking movies, unless they're animated and have dragons in them, no one cares about Vikings on the big screen. That's just a fact. So, yeah, Northman was always going to be doomed financially. But it did turn a profit later on, so it had a happy ending in the end. Now here we are with Nosferatu. So yeah, Robert Eggers has built a following. He is building himself a fan base. And a lot of people are excited to see his vision for Nosferatu, especially since, this movie was a big old passion project for him. So, that only Bill type. So yeah, I say Robert Eggers' name, I would label that as a pro. Because even the marketing really emphasized his name. So yeah, that's pro number 1. Pro number 2, the cast. We got a lot of notable names here. We got Bill Skarsgård, as Nosferatu. His brother, he was Alexander Skarsgård. He was a Northman, so I should mention that. But yeah, Bill Skarsgård. He's been quite a few movies recently. I forgot he was in Deadpool. I think he was one of the X-Force members that got murdered real quick. I think so. Obviously, Pennywise, low key iconic. I forgot. He was in Divergent, Allegiant. Well, I never saw Allegiant, so I wouldn't know. Atomic Blonde. I kind of forgot he was in that. Eternals. So we got 2 actors from the Eternals. They're both in movies for Christmas Day. First, you have Brian the Henry. I am so bad at names. Brian Tree Henry. Yeah, him. And then we got Bill Skarsgård in the Eternals. So that's unfortunate. At least they're in better movies. This week is Barbarian, which I literally just watched several hours ago. I've been meaning to watch it for years, and then today I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna see it. And that movie was weird, but I liked it. It was a movie where you really didn't know where it was going. It took some turns where I actually didn't know what the ending would be. So yeah, it was a really good flick, and it was a decent little hit. Then you got John Wick 4. I believe he was the main villain in that movie. John Wick 4 was a big hit. Boy Kills World, no one watched that. The Crow, I don't need to go over that. You all know about that disaster. But yeah, Bill Skarsgård, he's definitely a well-known face. And then we got a bunch of other people too. We got Nicholas Hoult, Beast from the recent X-Men movies. And he's about to be Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie. Saw the trailer for that. Saw it a few times, actually. Looks really good. I'm really hoping for the best for that movie. Because it's James Gunn. And I trust him that he'll make a solid flick. But anywho, yeah, Nicholas Hoult. It's been a decent amount of movies. The first time people really noticed him was X-Men First Class. Jack the Giant Slayer, nobody Watch that. Also in Mad Max Fury Road. Uh, let's see. He made like a cameo, like a bunch of X-Men made like a cameo appearance in Deadpool 2 because they didn't want to be associated with Deadpool. They got The Favorite. You got Dark Phoenix. Oof. Ugh. Let's ignore that one. The Menu. I want to watch The Menu. I tried finding it, but it's not like freely well, not free, but it's not like easily available on a streaming service, so that annoys me. Renfield was a flop last year, so yeah, and Juror 2 was just screwed completely because that even with like high reviews, it ended up just being put on Max, which I believe it's on Max right now, so can't really comment on Juror number 2. So yeah, we got Nicholas Hoult. We got Lily Rose Depp. This is Johnny Depp's daughter. She hasn't been in too many movies, recently. Nothing like serious. So, yeah, I can't really comment on any of these movies. So, yeah. Aaron Taylor Johnson literally just talked about why I didn't actually go over his track record when I did Craven. That was a mistake on my part. But we can go over it now. Make up for that mistake. He's known for being Kick-Ass in the Kick-Ass movies. He was in the Godzilla 2014 movie, a movie that I like, but I know a lot of people don't. He was MCU Quicksilver before they killed him off. Apparently he was in Tenet. I didn't know that. I still have yet to see Tenet. Kingsman, I don't remember him being in that movie either. Now, Bullet Train, I know that because, he was Tangerine and he had Lemon, Brian Tree Henry. Well, literally just talked about Fire Inside. They were like, if you ask me, they were like the main highlight of that movie. He was, in Fall Guy. I think it was the main villain in Fall Guy. And then Craven. Oof. Jesus. What a disaster that movie was. A complete shit show of a movie. And a shit show, in terms of like box office. It's a great thing this man had Nosferatu and 28 years later in his back pocket when Craven was bombing out there. So this man was smart. But also 28 years later looks like a banger, judging by the trailer. So I'm excited to watch that. So we got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corden, Cassandra Nova. Oh yeah, she was. Wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure Cassandra Emma. Are they non-binary? I don't know. I think last I checked, they were. I'll be the judge. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, so Emma goes by they, them pronouns. Okay. And they are non-binary. Okay. I want to not make any mistakes here. Okay, more than I already have. Okay. But they were the main villain in Deadpool and Wolverine, which was, the second biggest movie of the year. So having them here helps to an extent. And then obviously Willem Dafoe. I've talked about this man multiple times, but I mean this is Green Goblin right here. Okay. Yeah, we got OG Green Goblin, the best Green Goblin. But besides that, apparently there's Platoon, there's a Clear and Present Danger, the Speed 2, which was a flop, but most people remember for him being the main villain. There's Boondock Saints, American Psycho, Spider-Man. He voiced in Finding Nemo. He was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I've never seen that movie, so seeing him attached to that is kind of a shock to me. The Inside Man, the Spider-Man 3. Well, He was in all the OG Spider-Man movies. Antichrist is a movie that I kind of want to watch, but I kind of don't at the same time because it's hella graphic. But I've seen The Substance. I've seen Terrifier 3, so I think I've seen like the worst in terms of like content, what content has to offer. But I'm probably wrong on that front. But I've seen some fucked up shit. So, yeah. Carter, well, I think that's more I don't even think I think it was maybe a CGI character. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Most of these are like supporting role movies anyway. Like John Wick and Fault in Our Stars, Murder on the Orient Express, and forgot he was fucking Justice League, Aquaman as well, and Aquaman. No Aquaman 2. Okay, I think because he died in the first Aquaman, I think. And then there's Lighthouse. So this is not his first rodeo with Robert Eggers. No Way Home, where reprised his role as a Green Goblin. Northman, another Robert Eggers flick. Asteroid City, Poor Things, Beetlejuice. So yeah, this man's been in a lot of movies, a lot of very well known movies. So yeah, I'd say the cast is pretty, it's pretty good. So I will label all their presences as a pro. Another pro is that reviews for Nosferatu are very good. It's at a 87%. That is more than rock solid. There's no audience score officially yet, but there are audience ratings. So I want to see what the vibe is, if there is a vibe. um, what's the vibe? Well, there's only two. Both are positive. It's hard to go off like two reviews, but we'll know what the general audience reaction is come like on Wednesday, come Christmas, which I am. And yes, I will watch this movie Christmas Day because I think it's funny, and two, I've been looking forward to this movie ever since I saw the teaser trailer. That teaser trailer really gripped me. Like it told me that I need to see this movie on the big screen. I need to see a Robert Eggers movie on the big screen at least once. And this is going to be that movie. So, yeah, so reviews are really good. So I'll label that as a pro. Another pro is the lack of direct competition. I mean, there's no horror movies out right now unless you want to consider Craven to be a different type of horror movie in terms of a failed franchise experiment. But same goes for Mufasa, I guess. But there won't be any real horror movies until Wolfman, I think, and that's not till like mid-January. So this movie has plenty of time to play out. So I'm gonna label that as a pro. Lack of direct competition, and it's also Christmas. That's gonna help this movie, even though it's not really a Christmas movie. It's so far removed from the Christmas values, joy and cheerfulness. This is not it. But people might like that. Some people might be like sick of all like the joy and cheer, of Christmas, and they want to watch something different, something, with some edge, something that's, that's definitely doesn't really show good vibes. So that might help this movie out quite a bit, being an anti-Christmas movie. And we had plenty of those in the last several years, like last decade really. Movies like Django Unchained, Wolf of Wall Street, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Uncut Gems, movies that are not Christmas movies but came out on Christmas anyway. So yeah, it's not unusual for a movie like this to open around this time. So yeah, the holiday will help this movie out. I think that's it with pros. Yeah, I think I mentioned all the main points. Not to mention of all the Christmas movies, the four coming out tomorrow. This has the most hype surrounding it, so that helps too. So yeah, that's a pro too. And but cons, there's not a whole lot of cons except competition across the board. Mainly the box office has been taken over by family movies. Sonic 3, Mufasa, Wicked, and Moana 2 in that order. And granted, there's still a lot of general competition across the board, but this will definitely do better than all the other Christmas movies.
But there's still a lot of movies out right now, and that could like hurt this movie low key. So that's a con. But that's really the only con I have with this thing. So opening weekend, you gotta do 3 day and 5 day. For the 5 day, it's projected to hit 25 million, which is like head and shoulders above all the other Christmas movies. Um, I think it could hit that. It might do even better. Hard to say because it all depends on what happens Wednesday and Thursday. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mm, mm. This Chris doing Christmas predictions are so difficult because I know I'm gonna be wrong. Like I know I was dead wrong with anyone but you last year. So like that. So yeah, just ugh. Maybe I'll stick with the 25 million for the 5 days, and maybe for the 3 day I'll go with like 10 to 15 million. But I it could really pop off. Who knows? Time will tell. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if my predictions end up being too low. And its final total, its legs should be solid enough. I don't know if it'll hit 100 million. 100 million seems a little too much, but it could hit like 50 to set. Oof. 50 to 75 million. I'm going to go with that for its total. I think that's achievable enough. So that's what I'm going to go with. And that's it for 2024. We're done. It's over. We did it. It's now in the rearview mirror. I won't be making a prediction video again until the weekend of January 10th. All right. So, it'll be a good 2 weeks. I can finally have a break from this series, from these type of videos, which is, really just really good. So, yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of them, go right ahead. It's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't for 250 episodes. I actually talked about Nosferatu. I talked about episode 220. I talked about it alongside Soul, Luca, and Turning Red getting like their 2024 like theatrical releases, which went terribly. And I also talked about Thanksgiving 2, which is supposed to come out sometime in 2025. So yeah, that's the one time I talked about Nosferatu. So if you want to watch that cancel episode or any other episodes I've done, you want to binge watch them all, go right ahead. There's also the box office recaps where I predict box office where I go over the box office results for any particular month. Did my November recap. We'll do December recap come the second week of January, roughly. After that, I will do my 2024 recap, winners and losers. So, but I will say, when it comes, this year was very interesting. Okay, there are some movies that popped off in a way I never would have expected, and some movies that bombed in a way I never would have expected. Joker 2. So, it'll be interesting to talk about 2024 as a whole, next month. So stay tuned for those recap videos. But yeah, if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.